Hello, 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 everybody. It is Christine. It is time for a Color Rush Studio Design Team process video layout. And let me show you the challenge this month. So the prompt basically is to use the largest photo you can to document like a real life moments, whatever. And this is the inspiration, and it's really cute. These kids are kind of like, I don't know, they almost look like they're crying, but then they think that's an Easter basket. So maybe they're laughing. But it says real life. Maybe she's upset. Because it says real life. I don't know. Anyways, we have this circle photo here. We have these cute little banners here. We got the floral. It's on top of the plaid. So we'll see. That's our inspiration. And what I pulled out, of course, I've got the Zesty, or not Zesty, excuse me, that was June. This is July. So this is Sweet Summer. And I don't know if you guys saw my unboxing, but this is kind of the florals in that, well, no. Actually, I guess it could be either way, couldn't it? This is the florals and the inspiration, and I do like that. So we'll see if we use that, because I do have this kind of color palette, right? It's got this, you guys, I need to organize myself. Yellow, tangerine, pink, it's a really fun palette. And I have this picture of my daughter when she was in gymnastics. She was probably, I'm going to say she was 3. She might have been 4. She didn't stay in it very long because she's too tall. She was... The friggin' little bars they were supposed to dangle from came up to her chest. So she was too tall. And the gymnastics lady was so sweet. I mean, I went to her and I said, do you think she's going to do this, long term? And she says, I'm going to be honest. She said, I will teach any child, especially if she loves it. And she did like it. She said, but do I see her doing this long term? No, she's too tall and her little body just takes too much to flip and stuff. So that's when we switched over to soccer. So this was kind of her first foray into some type of an athletic endeavor, though. And she is doing a back bend, which is more than I could ever do. So, my circle cutter, I think, is still downstairs in a box, you guys. I have not yet done it. So, I think what I'm going to do, and this, I don't have any candies that are large photos. So, this is going to be the best I got. And I thought, kind of neat for real life, because she's, like, bent over backwards and all that kind of stuff. So, I thought, this could be cute. So, I'm going to use my circle, this guy here. This is a lid to a Tupperware bowl. And I will trace that out. Now, the tricky part is going to be making a mat for it. But, because I thought about maybe using this. And maybe I still will, I could put it on this, right? And just kind of cut this out. So I may still do that. In fact, I think I will. But look, the color palette's great. It's got the yellow. It's got this pink. It's got, a little purple in it. So I thought that, oh, y'all, what did I get on this? What is happening? Oh, my gosh. I think that's water. I don't know what that is. I'm alarmed. Anyways, okay, so let me get that figured out. And I'll be back on in a second. I hope you guys can hear me. First off, I don't have any idea what was on that picture. So I think it was water. I just blotted it up. We're good to go, right? I'm tracing my little lid here, and then I'm going to cut it out. And then I think the next thing I do is kind of look at that with the little circle paper with the little wreath on it. The reason you might have trouble hearing me, though, is I have fans blowing because I have moved to South Texas. A lot of you, if you've been watching me at all, you knew I moved, and we moved down here where my daughter is. Well, we're only about an hour west of Houston. And Hurricane Beryl came through, and we had some water encroachment through a couple areas, ground level, and unfortunately, my brand new floors that we just had put in, engineered hardwood, water encroached and, of course, oozed up underneath the floor. It was kind of a mess, you guys, I'm not going to lie. So we have fans on it. We'll probably still have to have somebody come in and repair it. Thankfully, we did keep a couple of extra boxes of wood for such a time as this. We just didn't expect it to be so soon. So fingers crossed it doesn't cost too much money and only a handful of boards need to be replaced. We'll see. But yeah, we just survived our first hurricane. So here we go. So I got my picture cut out, and now I'm going to cut out my wreath part here. And in a second, I don't cut the fruit parts out. I kind of think on it for just a minute because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I'm going to lay this down, and I'll realize it looks a little bit like a geotag. But I'm not really going to cut the fruits out. I leave them alone. I thought maybe to cut them and, sometimes I'll kind of cut around the fruit and let things tuck in, but I decided against it this time because the fruit really isn't part of the story, really, in this case. So I'm just using the wreath part. And then once I get the photo down, really all you kind of see is a few of the leaves of my fruit cluster there. So it works out fine. So I'm going to lay this down here. And then, of course, I'm going to lay it. I got to find another piece of paper. I got to find like a base paper to lay this on. And I thought, you know what? I thought about this one because it's got the floral on it. And I thought, no, I'm going to cut that out. And this inspiration sketch had that little plaid So I'm going to pull the plaid out. That's what I'm going to end up doing. I really love that wood grain, you guys. I thought about that one. I really did. But I was like, no, that doesn't really go with the design. So I'll save that for another layout. But here's where I'm going to go ahead and scuff the edge of this picture. And I know, no gasping, please. This is one of those professional versions where I have multiples of the same photo. So this is okay. I just knew that I could personally still see a little of the Sharpie pen. And it was either that or try to trim it again. And honestly, I didn't trust myself. So I'm going to glue this down on this little wreath here. I have that white space around it, which I kind of like actually, because it does offer some relief between the photo and the little plaid. And I'll set that to the side. I'm going to actually see how that looks a little bit like a geotag. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I'll trim this off though, and then after I look it over it again, I'll flip it back over. I realize my photo needs to come over just a hair, so I will have to mess with that as well. I'm going to have to peel it back up. See, my photo's off by just maybe a 1/4 inch. And so, well, I'll move my photo instead of the wreath page, by the way. This layout actually goes pretty quickly because I looked and I go, I can fussy cut the other florals. I will tell you my favorite part, I won't say the favorite, but one of my favorite parts is my little banner cluster I'm going to make at the top because I introduced the frazzles, you guys. I was doing the banners, and you'll see that in just a second. Oh, here's where I'm going to do the fussy cutting of the florals. I'll start doing this and then I'll cut away because there's no real reason for you to watch it. But I'll cut the little floral out just like the sketch showed. And then here's where I'm going to go, okay, I need to make my banners. And I kind of wanted to use the papers I'd already cut up. This one was too long here. I got a banner punch, and I do a 1.5 inch, and then I do some kind of smaller sizes. This one's here where I'm struggling with this. It was it was a hair too wide, so I have to trim it. And then I'll stick it in my little banner punch, and I'm going to mess with the couple pieces of paper there, and I'll make me a little banner cluster. And then I'll be looking at it, and I'll think, you know what? I think I could add some frazzles. So I'm going to do that in just a moment too. But then I couldn't find the darn scissors I wanted to use because, they're laying right there. Do you see them right there next to my punch? That's the scissors I wanted to use when I start cutting out my frazzles. But I put my trimmer right on top of it, and then I can't find them. It's like I want to tell past me, because I'm future me looking at this going, Christine, they're right there, but I couldn't find them. And you'll see me, I'll kind of look, and I'll end up using my little precision trimmer, or precision scissors. And that's not really the ones I really like to use with the frazzles, but it's okay. I mean, it works, but it's not what I really want to do. Here's me kind of looking at the ephemera. I'm like, okay, do I want to use that yet? And I'm like, no, not yet. Here's me going through the papers again. I think this is where I actually go ahead and cut into the stripe. I didn't really want to cut into a whole other piece of paper, but I needed another pattern for my banners, and the stripe looked like the best option. I will be perfectly honest and tell you, I realize on this layout here, I've got this plaid, I have a diagonal stripe, I have a vertical stripe. So I recognize that I have a lot of little lines going all over the place, but I kind of thought it went okay because, again, the layout, she's kind of upside down, and in fact, that's going to be the title eventually. There's all different, she's kind of pointing different weird directions. Her hands are kind of pointing weird. So in my mind, I go, you know what? It's okay. I've got all these random directional stripes here. So here's me kind of working on this banner situation. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I really want to do something extra. I really want to do something extra. And that's when I decide, oh, these frazzles are so pretty. And there's 2 little gingham plaids here. And I thought, you know what? I can use these 2. I didn't think the pom-poms would work. I might could have gone around my photo now that I'm thinking about it. Honestly, do I go back and do that now? I'm not one to go back and do layouts or add to layouts or anything after I've done finished, but now that I'm thinking about it, the pom-pom around the photo might be really cute. I may have to do that, and if I do that, I will drop it on my Instagram and share that, because that actually sounds really cute now. I'm a little distracted because this hurricane situation, you guys. The wind was blowing really hard. We did have the water. My husband we've had internet issues all day too. We had some internet this morning, and then it went out, and then my husband was throttling with our cell phone, and not throttling, that he was tethering, like hotspotting or whatever, and I think they've throttled our data, so now we can't even do that. And we called the providers, the internet service providers, and sure enough, they said, hey, there's an event, which, okay, duh, we got a hurricane. My husband's all sassy about it. I'm like, babe, there's a hurricane. Like, I'm sorry, you may not have, steady internet. So anyways, it's okay. Here's me. I got my little frazzles going on here. What am I doing? Where have I gone? You guys, I have no idea the Nuvo glue. This Nuvo glue is giving me a little bit of fits here. I have noticed we have like little flavors and stuff for our drinks, like little, you know, like pineapple flavor or whatever to add to water or our teas or whatever. And they're definitely, it's so much more humid. They're definitely kind of clumping. And I don't know if that's impacting the glue. I don't know why it would though, because it's kind of a sealed container. So I don't know. I have to think on that. Here's me trying to glue these things down. I will kind of use Nuvo glue initially, and then I'm going to decide that I need to add a little something extra because I'm a little concerned that it's going to stick. So I'm actually going to run over and grab my stapler. So I got my little Tim Holtz mini stapler, and I'm just going to go along the top for a couple little pieces here. I think that adds another little dimension anyway, a little texture and stuff, but I think it looks pretty. So there's my little banner cluster, which I really love. And then I've got this font. I love, love, love this font. It is so fun. It's a little bit youthful. So I'm going to name this Upside Down. And I think it looks so fun. I love it. I could have gone around the circle, I guess, but that's not how she showed the inspiration. She had the title kind of on the photo and the inspiration. So I thought, you know, I'm going to do the same thing. So it's going to take me just a second. I'll put Upside Down here. I think I told you guys this with my daughter when she was in gymnastics, and actually she loved it. We took her, the lady was great. She was actually a Cirque du Soleil gymnast. Like she was in that show in Vegas when she came back to McKinney and was doing the gymnastics classes and stuff. But when we tried between this and soccer. So she ended up in soccer, which you guys have seen. If you watched anything at all about me, you've seen layouts with her and this and that. But in between, we tried cheerleading. That was a huge fail. A total huge fail. Like she only went like 6-8 weeks, something like that, because I never had to fight her to go to gymnastics, ever. She'd put on her little leotard. I mean, we went on time, no issues whatsoever. She was a good kid. With cheerleading, she did not want to go. It was constantly fighting to get her in her outfit, her little cheer outfit she was supposed to wear. She hated standing in line because anytime they did like tricks and stuff, they had to have spotters, of course, which makes total sense. And just for safety purposes, you know, they had to have the adults help each child individually. Well, that meant most of the children kind of had to wait, and she's not one to do that. So we had a very, very short stint in cheerleading, literally like maybe 2 months, if that, before we switched over to soccer. So, but she did like the gymnastics, and they had this game where they took like a parachute. It was a round parachute, and they would like poof it, like they'd kind of take the edges and they'd lift it and let it fall, whatever. And you could, if she called your name, you know, you ran under, and she just loved all that. So here's me getting a few little foam dots. I'm going to put these under the edges of the flowers here. I did plot the flowers from the ephemera, and then I put some under the edge of the leaves too. But there's the layout, you guys. This is so cute. I encourage you to do the challenge. I really, really love these monthly challenges, and I always try to do them first as my first layout because I think it's good. So anyways, check out the Facebook group. I'll have links below. Also, don't forget, if you do Christine 10, when you go to the shop, there's a website link. You get a discount, so make sure you do that. And definitely check out the acrylics, you guys. She's got specials with the acrylics. You can add that to your kit, all kinds of cool stuff. So we'll see you next time. Bye.